my good sister here says they are party leader from DAP, who cannot even be elected as an MCA. And we are still here talking about young people. Let's bring young people.
Never run as an MCA.
No, and by the way, that's
fair. Yes. He's never tried to run as an MCA.
That's wrong. Let's move on.
Let's talk about what's happening with young people. Ndindi Nyoro is doing a lot of great things in Murang'a. Babu Owino is doing a lot of great things in Nairobi. This is the face of new Kenya. This is what we should be discussing. That can we talk or can we argue things on merit? What can young people do? Where is our voice? Because I'll tell you something.
Where did you fail in dislodging this political elite that you are so tired of?
It is the belief that these old guards have money and we don't have money. I will tell you something, Fred. During the revolution in 2024 and 2025, young people mobilized money up to 50 million to remove other young people for cash bails, to go to hospitals, to pay those who are injured. We can still do it. We can still raise our own. Look at what is happening in Uganda today. Bobby Wine is fighting for his people as a young person. Today, it's only sad that you can see what old generations will do to push down the young people.
Okay.
Look at what was happening in Tanzania. Young people stood, Fred, and it is very much possible here. Because I will tell you, the perception is of this, whether it is the united opposition or the government of the day, the position is very clear. Let us alienate the young people.
Okay. One of the things that you had managed to do as young Kenyans, allow me, Ruth, is that the youth in 2024 and 2025 had managed to put the political elite in a corner. And there was a lot of fear in that grouping, hence why they came together to consolidate their base. But that fear appears to have gone. They seem to have been emboldened, that political elite that existed then, that they still maintain their space. What went wrong in as far as dislodging that belief?
I want to believe it was true that youth put a very strong force that cornered all, as my friend called them, the old gags, into one corner. And that fear seems to have faded for the very same reasons, or the questions that you're asking. Where are these young people in all these spaces? Mm-hmm. And as far as the by-elections are concerned, the voter registration is concerned, and what are they doing? But I want to believe, apart from protest, there are many young people who are interested in politics. And you cannot do what elites are doing. You cannot even afford to do what they're doing. Whether it is resource-wise, whether it is lack of honesty and how they engage. Young people, you cannot do that. I'm aspiring to be an MP. I have an old MP who is already existing. What he does and what I think I can do is completely two different things. Or how he plays his politics. He has already been doing that and he has a line. And for me, as someone who is new, I need a strategy. Mm-hmm. And my strategy cannot be that I'll also come to the street, sell lies, look for older people, sit with them, buy. I cannot do that. What can I do then? And why are we not very visible in what we do? It's just because our tactics are completely different from theirs. Mm-hmm. For me, what I can do is I always sit with young people, talk to them, sell my ideas in a room so that there are no TVs and cameras. I don't have political rallies, or I don't have those friends who are associated with many things that seems to be capturing the day's conversation.
All right.
So the only fear that I can still instill into that old or the current political elite is by me engaging with young people on a daily basis, and then making sure that I show as young people, it's not only protest that we can do. It's also ideas that you can sell to you.
All right. There's a term for it, and I think it was captured by an author by the name Olukemi Otaiwo. It's called elite capture. How the powerful take over identity politics and everything else. This is what seems to be happening. Despite the efforts by the youthful Kenyans over the last 2 years, this elite capture, and it's what is happening in all regions, that even leaders from the northeastern region have been accused of controlling everything, including the resources, and focusing them in Nairobi and not doing their work down there. Don't you think that that is the biggest thing that the younger generation, especially the Gen Z, have failed to do? Get rid of this elite capture.
Thank you, Fred. Maybe before I come to the elite capture, I think there are a few that, if you give me a chance, I respond to. First, when our party leader, Dr. Buru Odinga, says that a Gen Z is a young person, is a youth, it is not that it's young, born young. I think something that has been using for the longest time, just I think to capture and feed with the young people. I think that's one way to communicate with us. My sister here said you are attacking me. You're not attacking me, you are responding. And I also allow me to respond that on the 10-point agenda, there are things that have been implemented. There are no more abductions in the country in the recent past. We are not seeing the police brutality in the recent history. So there are things that we, the ODM party, placed them the 10-point agenda that are being worked on. So when you are not attacking, you are responding. On Ruto, United Opposition, Jimmy Wanjigi, and so on. Fred, this is where we are getting it wrong as a generation. We are not going to fight individuals. We are not going to face individuals. We need to have ideas and ideals being placed on the table, in despite who is bringing it on. When we bring it on Ruto, we bring it on the United Opposition, which of course, I think I've said it here before, but there's nothing uniting them properly in that United Opposition. Today, if my brother here says that it is Jimmy Wanjigi, he needs to give us a reason. We know that Jimmy Wanjigi has been on the economical conversation, something that we may resonate with. But if we bring individual instead of what they're going to do for us, then we are all losing the mark. Mm-hmm. And that's where we may not be, and we are not going to be professional protesters on the street. I think from the party where I'm coming from, we are the only party that has been on the street for the longest time, for the past 20 years. So we understand the streets and the losses that we can have on the street. We also understand the gains that we can have on the street. As Raila Amolo Odinga taught us that there are times to retreat, re-strategize, and know how to hit. So when the young people are off from the street, I'm pretty sure that they are re-strategizing, they are energizing. But again, it also gives a room for implementation and more conversation on the things that we protested on. So we are not going to be professional protesters and activists on the street. Number two, I think on the same, is on the revolution. We talk about revolution. What were we revolting about? Fidel Castro would ask that we are going to revolt. It is Fidel Castro. Against, Samora Machel. Against what? What were we revolting about? We were not revolting in the country, Kenya. And at that point, I'm pretty sure that the country was not ripe for revolution as they keep on quoting it. What we were doing, we were giving a statement on the street. It was our civic duty that we were now giving the state and the government of the day that we are dissatisfied by this. Those who revolt, revolution is a bit different. So there was no revolution in Kenya. It was a street statement. The elite capture that we have just asked. And I think, again, on the same breath, it will be so unfortunate that we are going to use age, which is also very transitional, to be a political transaction. That young people, we have young people who behave more like old people in here, giving chances and opportunity. They loot more than even the old people who have been there. They don't build anything. And we're not going to use the age as a transactional thing in the political arena. It will be so unfortunate for us. Give us our ideas in respect of your age when you are born. Bobi Wine is mentioning, it's not even a Gen Z. Bobi Wine is 43 years old. So let us be realistic with each other in here. There's a elite capture, yes, we'll agree. But what are they capturing? We have lived shortest under the sun, and we have not been in good position to maybe be able to mobilize resources that are required to capture state power. But as I say it here again, those who are elite, we also have elites who are young as well. Where do they fall? We also have the old people, as they quote it, who think young and still have this country and feel that there are things that can be done right. So we are not going to use age as a transactional.
Yes, and it's not about age. And I'm talking about the old guard. By the old guard is the old system of thinking that the Gen Zs really wanted to change. But it would appear that old system has come out stronger.